Hello, hello. Is anyone there? I don't think anyone has joined yet. So I'm just waiting for a few people to maybe join the stream. My name is Professor Joshua Hollis from Cuffs. We're going to be talking about negotiations today, and it's the final Saturday class of this semester. So I'm hoping a few people join, but right now, what I'm looking at, no one's here. Maybe you're gonna watch this later, replay it, and feel sorry for me. But right now, I have nobody to talk to except for myself. How about that? Even with nobody here, I'm gonna start the PowerPoint. So I might have to answer my own questions a lot today. That's okay. That's a-okay. Okay, so let's jump over to my slides. And what I like to say about negotiations, this is a famous quote by Henry Boyle. The most important trip you take in life is meeting people halfway. So the most important trip you take in life is meeting people halfway, which means that when you negotiate, when I need something from you, you need something from me, we can't always get 100% of what we want. It's give and take, negotiation. So we have to meet halfway in the middle. That is what he means by the most important trip you may take in life is meeting people halfway. Okay. So, some thoughts about negotiations. When was the last time you negotiated something? Maybe a negotiation could be for a higher salary at your job. You might be negotiating at a market. I don't think many people do that as often nowadays. But if you negotiate for like at an open market where the price is, you can get a cheaper price if you try hard. You might even negotiate with your husband or wife at home, negotiating about if you do this, I will do this. If you clean the dishes, I'll clean the floor. If you get the kids to sleep, I will wake up early with them in the morning. That's something that my wife and I often have to discuss about who is going to get the kids to sleep, because my kids hate sleep. They hate to go to sleep and they love to wake up early. So it's always a negotiation because, one of us has to go to sleep late, one of us has to wake up early. Very difficult. Have you ever negotiated in English? Have you ever made any negotiations in English? Of course, I have made many negotiations in English for salaries with my wife, but I've also made negotiations in other languages. I remember I lived in China for 1 year. When I was much, much younger. I lived in China for 1 year. And my Chinese wasn't great, but I could speak some. I could speak enough to get around. And I went to an open market and they saw a white face and they thought I was just a tourist, and they tried to give me a really bad price. So I told them in Chinese that, I know this is overpriced and this is how much I'll give you. And they were kind of shocked. So they gave me the price I wanted because they were shocked that I could speak any Chinese, that I wasn't just a tourist, that I was living there. So speaking the language can definitely help you negotiate, but also just being firm, being ready to walk away. And I think we're going to look at that soon. That's a big part of negotiating is being ready to walk away. And I've done that like negotiating in China, other countries. I've done that with jobs. I need to negotiate my salary. And if they say no, I leave. And I've done that before. So you have to be ready to walk away. Oh, I have somebody watching. Hello, how are you? Let me write in the live chat. Okay, let's look at the next question. Do you often negotiate when buying things at markets or secondhand? So even though we don't go to many markets nowadays, especially with COVID, we don't really go to any markets where you can negotiate price. We can negotiate prices, on like Junko Nara or Tangun Market. If you're in Korea, these are the two big big places that you can buy used things. Junkonara is on Naver, and Tangen Market's just an app on your phone where you can get local deals on used things. And yeah, do you negotiate prices? I'm sure that some of you have used those services. If you've used Tangen Market or Junkonara, have you negotiated prices? Have you tried? I've successfully negotiated prices on those websites, and I have unsuccessfully negotiated, where I've tried to negotiate and they just block me. They don't even talk to me anymore. I don't lowball. Lowball means give a really low offer. I don't lowball, but I just try to get a little bit savings sometimes, if possible. So have you ever made any negotiations? If you have, write in the live chat. It could be a negotiation for a higher salary, negotiation with your husband or wife at home about who's going to do the chores, maybe a negotiation for a better price on Junkonara or Tangen Market. Let me hear in the live chat. Yuna says, I am poor at negotiating. Yeah, I used to be. I used to be really bad at it, but then I just learned that you have to be ready to let go of it. If you need something, if you have to buy something and you can only buy it in one place, you're going to have a really hard time negotiating, because they will know that you need it and they will not let it go for a lower price because you need to buy it. But if you're ready to let go of it and you think, I would like it, but I can buy something similar somewhere else, then you can negotiate because you're ready to walk away. You're ready to say, nope, I gave you my price. If you don't want it, I'm out of here. Professor Cassandra's in the chat. She said it's hard to do. It's hard to negotiate. Yeah, and Yuna says, I have tried those services, but have you negotiated prices? Or do you just take the prices as they are? I'm glad to see some people showing up. I was a bit afraid that no one was going to come because for the first 5 minutes I had nobody in here. Okay, let's look at a few rules or tips for negotiating before we get into the vocabulary of the day. So this is a phrase you can use. Wait, am I doing phrases right now? Or hold on just a minute. Okay, yeah. So this is a phrase you can use to make a polite offer. It shows the other party that you are willing to offer and what you expect to receive in return. So here's an example. Maybe you're working at a job and your coworker wants to take the night off. And you say, if I cover your shift tonight, that means if I work in your place tonight, would you cover my shift tomorrow night? So you're negotiating. You might also do this at home, like to your wife or husband. If I wash the dishes, will you clean the floor? If I do all of the laundry, will you cook dinner? Things like that. That's how we negotiate. If I do this, would you do this? It's a polite way to make an offer. Let's see. Yuna says, getting expensive and selling at lower prices about, I think, Tangen Market and Junkonara. Yeah, some things are pretty expensive. I think that just inflation is going up and it's affecting everything. Another rule or another tip for negotiating is let the other party, that means let the other person, make the first offer. This is useful because it allows you to make the first counter offer, which is the position with the most power. Also, if you are the buyer, it prevents you from saying a higher price than the seller might be expecting. So you can say, I'd like to hear your offer first. So if you are going for a job interview, and many job interviews nowadays, at least in the United States, they don't tell you the salary. They don't tell you. And they will ask you in the interview, well, how much do you want to be paid? How much would you like to make? And it's really disadvantage. It's a big disadvantage to make your first offer. Because if I say something lower than they're willing to pay, they save money. So if they're willing to pay, for example, let's say iman an hour, like $20 an hour. But I say, I'll work for $15 an hour, manochan won an hour. I'll do that. They say, great, good, we're going to save money. You want them to make the first offer. So if they say, we're willing to pay you, $18 an hour, You can say, no, I'd like to make 20. I'd like to make 20. Then you can make the counter offer. So always, if possible, have the other side make the first offer. That gives you more power in the negotiations because the counter offer, the second offer, holds the most power. Next is respect the other party. And every time I say party, I mean other person or other group of people. So yelling, acting childish, or calling the other party bad names will not help in your negotiation. Although it is difficult, it's best to negotiate without emotions. Yeah, this is difficult sometimes to make negotiations without emotions. It needs to be robotic, like a computer, when you're making these negotiations. Either for I have negotiated for a higher salary before at previous jobs. And when I do, I say, I've worked here for 5 years, whatever. I'd like this salary, and if I don't get this salary, I'm going to have to find another job. It's nothing personal. It's just I know what I'm worth, and I know what I can do. So this is your decision now. If you want to give it to me, or if you want to find a new person. It has to not be personal. It has to be very, very robotic. No emotions. Don't act childish. Don't fight. Don't scream. Don't make excuses. Just be respectful. Okay. Next is, this is one that you might not think of. Copy the other party's body language. This might not always be easy, but it is useful in other circumstances too. This is an old trick that only works if you're natural about it. If you're doing this unnaturally, it's not going to work. So if the other person is crossing their arms, you should cross your arms. If the other party is using many hand gestures, you should do something similar. Do not copy them exactly like a mirror, but use similar gestures. Now, this works to become friendly in many situations, because if I'm using the same body language as you, even if you don't notice it consciously, unconsciously, you're going to feel connected to me. You're going to feel like you can trust me more, like you like me, because I am acting in a similar way to you. We're pushed away from things that are different from us. We don't always like things that are very, very different. We like things that are similar to us. We want friends who are similar to us. So if you meet somebody who uses the same body language as you, even if you don't notice it, you will naturally be more attracted to that person, and that can help in negotiations. Also, don't give up early and walk away. These are two different pieces of advice. These are very different things. So the first, if you must complete a negotiation, if you have to do it, don't give up early. For big purchases, 15 minutes is the minimum for most negotiations. When I say big purchase, big, I don't mean buying something on Junkonara. I mean like buying a car or buying a house. You can negotiate these things. You can negotiate the price for a car. When my wife and I bought our recent car, we bought in cash. And they like when you buy in cash. So we were able to negotiate. We were able to say, we're paying in cash. So we need a better deal than you're offering right now. Because we don't have to worry about banks or anything. It's just going to be transferred straight to you. You get the money. And American car companies like that too. If you're buying a car, you can negotiate the price. You should negotiate the price. You should know what a fair price is, and you should definitely get it. So yeah, be ready. Know that you have a position of power because they want your money. So be ready to negotiate, even if it takes a long time. Second, if you don't absolutely need to complete the negotiation, if you don't need to buy the car from maybe Kia, you can buy a similar car from Hyundai, then don't be afraid to walk away. This will force the other party to decide quickly if they will follow your offer. I have used this one many times. Walk away. You have to be ready to give it up. If you can give up the negotiation, like at a market or buying a car or something like that, or even negotiating your salary, if you're ready to walk away, they will reconsider. It will make them think that, oh, he's serious. He's not joking here. Then they really have to think, do they want this or are they going to let it go? Okay, let's make a deal. Let's try to look at a few situations and you tell me in the live chat what deal you would make. How would you make a deal in these situations? So the first situation is in the classroom. Let's say, for example, you forgot an important homework assignment. You want to negotiate with the professor so that you can make up the grade. So you forgot to do an important homework assignment. It's already due. You don't have it, but you want to negotiate with the professor. You want to make up your grade. What do you say? What magical words do you say to negotiate with the professor? What do you say? Tell me in the live chat. I will wait for a few answers. Maybe even just one answer. Yuna says, send it to me. I'll send it to you when I get back home. But what if you don't have it? What if you never did the homework assignment? You can't send it back when you get back home. Or maybe you do have it and you can send it. Maybe you forgot to bring it and you just have it at home. If you have it at home, that's a great negotiation. Say, I'm so sorry. I left it at home. I'll send it as soon as I get home. But if you never did it, if you 100% forgot the assignment and you didn't do it, you don't have it, you can't finish it quickly, you need to negotiate with the professor and say something like, I'm so sorry I forgot my homework. Please let me make it up. Let me do double assignment. Oh yeah, that's what I'll do. This assignment was to write 1-page essay, but I'll write a 2-page essay and I'll do it in 2 days. Is that okay? Please let me make this up. I just forgot about it. I've been busy. My aunt died. My grandmother died. Everyone died. I just didn't have time. Something like that. Okay, let's see. What's the next situation that we can talk about? How about at home? Let's say your family is not cleaning the house enough. So you have to do all of the work. How do you negotiate with your family members so that you can distribute the work more evenly? What do you say to your family members that, I'm doing all the work, I'm cleaning all the dishes, I'm doing the floor, I'm doing all the laundry, I'm doing all of this work. Am I a slave? You guys need to help me. Here's my deal. Here's my negotiation. If I or if you, I will, like that. Like the phrase we looked at earlier. If you do this, I will do that. What is your negotiation? Ooh, Iuna says extra allowance for the kids. Extra allowance. Man, that's nice. I don't know if I'm giving my kids extra allowance for cleaning. We'll see. They're still too young to get an allowance. maybe when they're older. That's that's more positive reinforcement. I'm kind of evil. I'm more negative reinforcement. You're very nice. You're saying, if you clean the house, if you do the dishes, we'll give you more allowance. I'm the opposite. If you don't clean the dishes, you're not going to eat dinner tonight. I kind of do negative. If you don't do this, you're not eating. That's just the problem. I'm more punishment than reward, but I guess reward is better. Yes. Get them to vacuum or clean the floor for extra allowance or snacks. That's good. Yeah. I'm the opposite. It's like if you don't help me clean the floor, you're not getting any snacks. Sorry. I guess I'm a bit more evil. Let's look at the next one. Buying second hand. So this could be like at Junkonara or Tangen Market or even a real secondhand store. Let's say you have found the perfect thing on a secondhand market. You really want to buy it, but you think the price is a little too high. What do you say to negotiate the price lower? What do you say? Because like in English, we would say, would you take like $20, for example? Would you take is what we say. Would you take $20 for this? Would you take $100 for this? Maybe they're asking for $50. The price is $50 and you say, would you take $40? Would you take $40 for this? That's a very common English phrase when you're buying secondhand and you want to negotiate. You say, would you take da 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 da? What do they say in Korean? What would you say in English or Korean on Tangen Market or Junkonara for buying something secondhand? I've had the very strange experience of buying on Tangen Market from many Korean sellers. So of course I speak Korean when I talk to the Korean sellers, but I've even bought from other foreigners. I didn't expect them to be a foreigner, but we spoke in Korean at first. We both noticed our Korean wasn't good. I asked, do you speak English? They're like, yeah. So then we just spoke English. So I've done both, very interestingly. Okay. Kim Min-so says, 누리는 없나요? Okay. So that would be your Korean question to ask about the price. Good. Like, can you give me a discount? Okay, is there no discount? Is there no discount? That's good. Discount, you can also say like, "가까주세요," right? Like, give me the discount. Okay, good. Yuna says, I am on a tight budget. Please lower the price or I can't get it. Please lower the price. It's not, people don't like to be demanded, like, do this, lower it. Again, you might instead say, I'm on a tight budget. Would you take da 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 da? Yeah, that might be a little bit less confrontational. Let's look at the next scenario. Planning a vacation. You want to go to the beach, but your family wants to go to the mountains for vacation. How do you negotiate with your family? So you really want to go to the beach for the weekend, but your family, or for a holiday, maybe a week, but your family really wants to go to the mountains. How do you negotiate with your family? What do you say to negotiate? See, I might cheat on this question. I might cheat and say, let's go to New Zealand. Because in New Zealand, you can be in the mountains in the morning, drive for an hour, then be on the beach. You can do both. You can do the beach and the mountains very easily in one vacation. So nice. Yuna says, tell them how annoying it is to prepare for the mountains. Just tell them it's annoying. Oh, it's so annoying to go to the mountains. You don't want to. Mountains are terrible. The air is not that good, and there's bugs everywhere, and yeah, you can just convince them that it's not fun. That's one way to do it. Or you could even say, like, how about we go to the mountains for the first 3 days of our vacation, then go to the beach for the last 3 days. There's a lot of negotiations we can do. Okay, you guys can keep chatting in the live chat. That's great. Let's look at a few phrases we can use for negotiating. Let's look at a few phrases. So, the bottom line. This is one phrase we can use. This phrase means the end of the offer. It is the highest price, lowest price, or best offer that you can give. You can also use this phrase to cut to the end of the negotiation. So you can say, my bottom line is $200. I can't go lower than that. So if you're selling something and the person keeps asking you for a different price, you can say, my bottom line is $200. That's it. I cannot do less. No. My bottom line is. Or you can even say, the bottom line is. You can say, like, the bottom line is